And then to ask Him, talk with Him, as though He was there, because guess what? He is. And you will be able, I'm telling you that you will be able, because I have experienced this myself and I've experienced it with other people. You will be able to sort through these things as you give Him the opportunity. One of my responsibilities as a pastor is counseling. And whenever somebody comes to me and says, Pastor, I have a problem, I have a question, I don't know what to do, I don't tell them the answer. That's not my thing. It scares me to tell somebody what to do. Because what if they actually did it? Then guess what? I'm responsible. And being the wimp that I am, I don't want to bring that responsibility. But the thing that I have found through the years, as people talk with me, as people say, what do you think? As people say, here's my problem, here's the question that I have, they already know the answer. They already know what they should do. They already know what the decision they should make. They already know that. They just need to be able to think through it and say it out loud and have Nate say, And it amazes me that when we go to a session like that, people will say, you know, Nate, you really helped me so much. And I will say, Guess what? Jesus is better at it than I am. Come to Him and tell Him what you're thinking. Come to Him and say, here's what my questions are. Come to Him and say, here's where I've been thrown for a loop. Jesus says, I will never leave you or forsake you. The Bible says in Isaiah that He is a counselor. So take advantage of that kind of counselor. Take advantage of that counselor who is always there. Talk with Him. Have a little talk with Jesus. And you will find your questions answered. And it's not a mysterious thing. Because like I said, they can do that with me. And I just go, But Jesus, who knows you more than you know yourself, Jesus who loves you, Jesus who cares about you and who wants to help you and direct you and carry you and guide you, talk with Him and you'll find the answers. Clarify your priorities. I am always totally honest with Jesus. I figured out a long time ago, how can I fool Him anyway? Jesus, this is how I'm feeling. Jesus, this is what's going on in my life. Jesus, here's the mess that I've made. Here's the questions that I've had. Whatever. I tell it to Him right now. He's the only person in the whole world that I can do that with, without fear. So why not do it? Peter had his priorities clarified. Peter, what's important to you? We need to have that done first. Then he needed to clarify his purpose of it. Peter, I've given you something to do. Your life is not over. And it's so incredible that this is the point of this passage, because so many times when we bump into a traumatic situation, we think our life is over. Just like when I found out about my parents. I thought my life was over. Sure felt like it was over, but it was not. And the Lord says, Nate, I got something for you to do. There's more for you to do. I had a rough time last night. Watching the news, they talked about one of their reporters who died in Iraq. Not from wounds, but from DVT. What is it? What's DVT? Deep vein thrombosis. Sitting too long, blood clots formed in his leg and come to his heart and kill him. And they talked to his wife. That was 5 or 10 years ago. And they talked to his wife, and she has become an advocate for DVT, for DVT awareness, to save the lives of others in his memory. And said it's cathartic to do that. You know what cathartic means? Therapeutic. It helped her to do that. And I'm not sure where I was last night to have it affect me this way, but I broke down in tears. And I said, Lord, I don't like cathartic. I'm sick of cathartic. I'm sick of doing stuff in Jesse's memory. I just want him here. Like I said, this message was for me. Because again, it felt like my life was over. I felt that I hadn't felt so strongly in I don't know how long. But the Lord helped me to clarify my purpose. And with Vicky's help, I began to think through the things that we had done since Jesse died. And the difference that it's made. And the Lord did for me like He did for Peter. Life is not over. I've got something for you to do. So let's be doing it. So I'm here this morning. So Jesus helped clarify His priorities, Peter's priorities. He helped clarify His purpose. Peter, your life is not over. I have forgiven you. I've given you an opportunity to reaffirm your love for me. Now, do the job. Feed my sheep. Tend my lambs. Watch out for my little ones. And the last P. Kind of ironic. I don't know if Peter was feeling a little pressure, but when Jesus said, "Follow me," Peter needed to have his perspective clarified. You know, one of the ways we deal with trauma is to try and look at someone else, not at us. And Peter said to Jesus, "What about John? What's he supposed to do? You've asked me if I love you. You've said you've reaffirmed my job. But what's John supposed to do?" And Jesus said, "Don't worry about John. And by implication, don't worry about anybody else. That your perspective is what you're supposed to do. Your perspective is what I have called you to do. Your perspective is follow me." We need that perspective. We need that perspective clarified often. Because we have a tendency to say, what about them? What about him? What about her? Whereas Jesus says to us, what about you? And what about you and me? I heard an actor one time say, Christian actor, said the thing that helps him with his life and his ministry is that he realizes that he has an audience of one. Not what will the critics think, not what will the audience think, not what will the company think, but what will Jesus think. And the thing that I have found as I have tried to think through that thought is that Jesus is the kindliest critic that I know. When I do something and come to Him and say, Lord, what do you think? There are times when He begins with, well. But He always encourages me. He always lifts me. He always says, you can do it, Nate. He always says, good job. So when I clarify my perspective, that it's me and Him, when I clarify my purpose, that He's got something for me to do, it's not over. When I clarify my priorities, that I want to live for Him, then the fog goes away. The confusion scatters. The reboot happens. And I'm ready to go on. Peter, you got to hear the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say, because the rest of the story is awesome. Peter, who denied Jesus 3 times. Peter, who